Hey, fellow theme park aficionados. I don't know. I say fellow Mouseketeers. I don't have a hey whatever for this. That stuck for me. I don't know. But anyway, hello and how are you? It's England Teen, the homegrown tourist. Live in Orlando as always. Actually, I'm in Kissimmee. It's a little bit off of Orlando, right next to Disney World. That's where I'm from, and that's why I'm going into the parks all the time. Has nothing to do with what we're going to be talking about today, though, Dalton.
And this has been the backstory portion of England Teen.
There you go. No, I just want to talk. I'm in a good mood. Do you know why I'm in a good mood? I watched another show we're going to be doing another stream for, but I'm very happy with everything that's going on as far as the Disney Plus TV shows are. Not necessarily what's going on for Disney Plus, because I still can't get onto it through my computer. Which means anytime we do a watch party, I've got to watch it on my television over here through the Xbox, which means I've got to keep the volume down or copyright strike. Or on the computer, you can't hear it because it's on the headphones. But I just watched Mandalorian episode 2. And, of course, the first one came out. I did a review for it that only 7 people have clicked on. I was like, okay, something's going on here where the views once again are going further down and down. It could be because, as much as I try to say, this is not it's not a channel for kids. It's a channel for the parents of kids. They may have marked me as a site for kids, and therefore they're not sharing it as much because they're worried about that kind of
Disney,
stuff.
So yeah. That's probably why.
Yeah, I kind of figured YouTube would do that. But have you seen the first episode of Mandalorian?
I have not seen either episode, but I have binged all the spoilers because that's how
Dude, it's a lot better to watch it and get to know the spoilers firsthand than it is that way anyway. So this one, I don't know if I want to go into spoiler territory just yet. But I'm very happy to say that this is the show, man. This is it. I'm going to share it. I think I may even make it the thumbnail for this video, but I saw a meme. It's from Hook. You know, the episode where the little kid goes up to Robin Williams and he kind of pushes his face back and he goes, "Oh, there you are, Peter."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a meme like that. Of course, the kid it says me, and then Robin Williams, it's got Star Wars, and it's like, "Oh, there you are, Star Wars," and that's kind of how I feel about this, because it's so much fun. It really is. Like, it's got its flaws. Some people say it's a pacing issue. I have not yet felt that. It's a 22-minute episode. I was on a live stream with a gentleman last night who says that they have a feeling they're doing this for syndication. So if they ever do release it, or like say put it on ABC, it's 22 minutes. Yeah, that's the exact length of a television show once you take out the commercials. That actually has merit.
Although it's weird to me that these aren't an hour, because you would think this would be the kind of show you'd want to give an hour to.
Yeah, you would think, but in all honesty, he comes in, he gets the job done, he goes out. I am seeing the one flaw I am seeing in this is it really does seem like we start off, he gets his bounty, he goes and does the bounty, episode ends. In this case, the show begins with him he's going back to his ship. He's got baby. Well, okay. This is the spoilers here. Obviously, I'm talking about episode 2, which means I'm assuming everybody has seen episode 1. So I'm going to spoil episode 1. If you haven't seen it and you don't want to spoil it, then this is not. Yeah, stop right here. But he's
from Yoda species, folks.
Dude. You just stole the punchline of the joke, man. Yeah, but there you go. It's the baby from the Yoda species. And he's going back to his ship, and there's Jawas, and they're raiding his ship. So, he's trying to get into their little land rover thing. I know it's got a name. I used to have it as a kid, but that was actually the only big vehicle I had. Like, I always wanted the Millennium Falcon, never got it, but I did get the Jawa's junk thing. I forgot the name of it though.
The Jawa vehicle, I can't remember the name of it either.
Yeah, I know. There's going to be at least one Star Wars guy. Hey, it's this one, you dummies. Here you go. But yeah, so he goes chasing after that, and after he does that, he fails. Unfortunately for him, not for us, because we get to see more stuff. He goes back to his friend, and who's voiced by Nick Nolte, which I think is freaking brilliant. He is perfect for this character. And the guy goes to help negotiate to get the stuff that was stolen. And from there, they said, okay, we'll give you this stuff, but we're going to do a trade because they're Jawas, and you got to go get this egg. And it turns out it's like from this big space rhinoceros creature, that kind of thing. So that seems to be exactly what all the shows are going to be. It's going to be like I said, we see a little bit of an action scene at the beginning. He gets his bounty that the rest of the show has to now follow, because it did it last time and it seems to be doing it this time as well. From there, it's just a lot of fun. We do get to see Baby Yoda do some Baby Yoda force maneuvering, force powers. He's basically fighting this giant rhinoceros thing that his weapons aren't very useful against. It's an entertaining show, man. I don't know what to say. Pedro Pascal, the guy who's playing the Mandalorian, he was in Kingsman and Game of Thrones. He played what was his name? The Spanish guy from that gets his head crushed. But
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember the name. Once again, another thing that we could get nailed on. Hey, Tito's, how you doing, man? How you doing? But yeah, it turns out he does such a great job from behind the helmet. I mean, he's nailing it left, right, up, down, twice on Sundays. And that's funny. And the thing is this is I think there's a lot of stuntman work here this time around, because he's getting knocked left, right, thrown by this thing. And oh my gosh, I'm loving the fact that it's done physically. There are, of course, some computer graphics and everything, but there's a lot of practical effects in this TV show. And that's something I believe that has been missing from Star Wars for a long time. Do you think he's in the
touch? Yeah.
That from what we're told, Tito's, he's in the armor, and it would make sense. They did the same thing with what's his name, V for Vendetta, Mr. Anderson. What was God dang, I can't remember a gosh darn thing today.
Hugo Weaving,
yeah. They did the same for him in V for Vendetta, so I have no reason to doubt that Pedro's in the armor, except for a lot of this episode where obviously he's being knocked about and thrown about and everything like that. And that does happen quite a bit here. It really is. He really is tossed around quite a bit on this one. But thankfully though, there's no big twist on this one. I was worried. There were a couple of things, I was worried coming into all of this. And one of the things I was worried about was if they were going to rely on twists. Are they going to rely too heavily on the CG? There's a lot of stuff that it could just come off wrong, like they're going backwards or something like that. And thankfully, none of that has been going on. Let's see. It comes with age, Englantina. I feel your pain. I know, right? Old plus lack of sleep equals you forget things. But still so good. It's got that look. It's got that Western feel to it. I'm telling you, Dalton, this is a show you're going to enjoy. But I think you should just get Disney Plus anyway. Bite the bullet and enjoy it, man. Because seriously, this is right up your alley.
Yeah, I imagine it probably is. Although I am worried what they're gonna do to the assets, the Yoda child, because the people who commissioned him to get it are not looking very light side of the force, if you know what I'm saying, and that a little bit like, what are you gonna do to the little baby thing?
Yep. Well, Tito's is saying he hasn't seen the episode yet. By the way, I left the link in the comments if either one of you want to jump on. And if you've seen the episode, you want to give your, oh, you're at work. Okay, Christy, no worries, no worries. But yeah, it was so much fun. I'm liking this. I really am, man. You got to check this episode out. Thankfully, it's, like I said, there's more, there's more practical effects. It's it does seem a little monster of the weekish, so it does have to have some work to do. They have to improve that at least. Also,
this is only the second episode, so it might just be they're going a little bit monster of the week for now, and then they'll work on some of the bigger stuff
I'm hoping that happened with Smallville. Smallville is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, but that first season is absolutely monster of the week.
Monster of the week.
Yeah, the second episode they start delving into Clark's history a little bit more, and it gets better as it goes. Mandalorian, I'm hoping they do the same. Obviously, Baby Yoda is with him, so they're continuing that subplot. So hopefully it kind of expands into the story, and we're told one narrative as it goes along. I am liking the fact that they put it out once a week, and that's so we could do this kind of thing, and that's why they're doing it, so we could continue the conversation and everything. And yeah, I'm more than happy to do this because I've got other TV shows I want to talk about, and I'm going to be reviewing on this channel as well. I just saw episode 2 of The World According to Jeff Goldblum, and I'm about to watch episode 2 of Imagineering, and so I want to do a live stream talking about those. Eric has time to talk to Ash, but not do a live stream. Christy, it's no need to be jealous. Come on, man. But those are also excellent TV shows, and I will tell you this: I want to be Jeff Goldblum for a day. I want to be inside that head because he is odd. He's weird, man. He seriously is. So yeah.
In other news, sky is blue and water is wet and the sun is hot.
Exactly. But man, it's thoroughly entertaining. So, oh hey, Tito's, what's up?
Hello.
How are you, sir? Being
inside Jeff Goldblum's head, that's a frightening thought.
But you know what? It seems so happy there. He goes, in this, I don't want to get too much into that because I really do want to do another stream. I want to keep these down a little bit, around 15 minutes or so.
Sure.
But because I just want to make it a review here. But this is, he starts off going, I'm Jeff Goldblum, known for my hands and my love for life. And again, your William Shatner-like speech pattern. Let's not forget about that, Jeffy. But yeah, it just seems so happy watching this. So I'm still enjoying Disney Plus. I see all the a lot of other places, a lot of other YouTube channels that are just looking for reasons to put this site down. And here I am. I'm happy as a freaking clam. I don't know what. It's nice to be me.
I want to make a quick prediction about Mandalorian.
Alrighty.
I'm just going out on a limb here and making a guess, but I don't think that the Mandalorian is ever going to collect that bounty off of the creature that's of Yoda's species. They still have never identified that species. Nobody knows.
Which
I find hard to believe because Yoda's not the only one. There was another Jedi on the council. Yaddle, and she was a female, and why do they not know of what species this is?
They want to keep it a mystery. I mean, obviously, this okay, spoiler alert for this episode. Do you want to know?
Sure, it doesn't bother me.
Okay, in this episode, he uses the Force at 50 years old, but he's still a baby.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I already knew that.
Okay, yeah. So obviously, this is maybe something that they don't want to spread, or maybe it would be they would be mined and enslaved to a certain point or something. You know,
but
I don't know.
That is why I made the prediction. Apparently, he helped him out in a tight spot. Also helped him healing, is what I understand. And I'm thinking he's going to perhaps come up with the idea that he's awfully valuable to have around.
I'm just going to keep it.
He might become his sidekick. I don't know.
Oh, the Cinema Queen, Kalia, the Cinema Queen, is saying that they have announced, and I think they were talking about it the other day on another stream, that the EU, this is taking a lot from the extended universe, which I think is brilliant because it shows Disney may be listening. I think, yeah, well, I think they're going to go full blast on whatever their idea is for the Skywalker saga, but they might just listen to the fans for the Disney stuff.
Well, that would be smart because they know that the fans are not going to object to the EU.
Oh, absolutely,
content.
yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan of the EU, not because I don't like it. It's just I never delved into it. But if they tell the story, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Sorry. I will say this: if you like The Mandalorian, I highly recommend Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the animated show that used to be on Cartoon Network. It's really
I never jumped into that. If you are in the chat and you want to jump in and talk about Mandalorian episode 1 or 2, go right on ahead. I'm leaving the link there. If you've never even talked to me before, jump on. It's nice to meet a new friend, and we'll talk some Star Wars and Mandalorian and Disney Plus. Fun times.
I have to agree with Dalton. The Clone Wars animated series was much better than what we get with the current films.
Mm-hmm.
This took place right after Disney took over the Marvel, or not Marvel, but Lucasfilm.
Yeah. Now, I'm somebody who admits that I liked Force Awakens. I liked I really liked Rogue One. I didn't mind Solo. I just thought it was unnecessary, but I didn't mind what was there. I think they could have done better. I think the opening sequence with the heist and Woody Harrelson's crew was brilliant. That was Star Wars, man. That was Star Wars, the way Star Wars should be told, the way Mandalorian is. But the rest of it was questionable and definitely an unnecessary movie. I would have rather just, why don't we make this crew its own thing, and they could have expanded the Star Wars universe just by following that crew rather than do Han Solo. Han Solo is a very, and I hate to use this word, problematic character to do a movie about, because his arc, if you start at the beginning, has to fall. He has to become the scoundrel, the villain, in order for him to rise as a hero in The Force Awakens, and they didn't do that. They just raised him to another level of hero. So it's not a big surprise when "you're all clear, kid," comes up at the end of Star Wars.
Right. I agree with you. When Force Awakens came out, I watched that film, and while I didn't think it was the best by any means, I didn't see a lot of problems with it. I thought there were a lot of possibilities.
Yeah,
built on that story, and I think it could have been a really good, trilogy. The Last Jedi ended that notion in my head permanently. The other films you mentioned, they were good.
Yeah, there is one I haven't mentioned, and that's because, look, I don't have a problem with the characters. You're not going to tell me that I should hate Hodor even because of the fact that, they put a female in charge. No, they wrote her poorly.
Yeah.
That's what is the problem with The Last Jedi. It's not because we're told every time if you say that you don't like Last Jedi, it's because, it's got minority characters in it. Star Wars,
that's not the issue, and there's never been the issue.
These are poorly written. This was not a very well written movie. They were writing a bad script, and when you do that, it's incredibly hard to get that back.
Yeah,
it really is.
And
I think
you mentioned Rogue One. I thought that was a very good film.
I love that film.
Yeah,
I really do.
That and Mandalorian, it just proved that Disney can make quality content. They just have to want to make quality content.
It really does seem that way. Now, I do think that Mary Ray, of course, Mary Ray. I do think that Ray has Mary Sue qualities to her, and I think that's a big problem. There is something I've noticed in comic books, even, and it's any character. They start to overpower them. The Marvel does this, and it's just to the point where it seems like if they put them through any kind of diversity, it's saying they can't do something. Like the dreaded Joker cover with Batgirl, he's got a gun to her head, and they're like, "Oh, this is problematic." No, every comic book in history has the hero. Not every. I'm being hyperbolic, but most comic books has a cover where we see the hero in trouble. It's like, how are you getting out of that trouble? And I think writers today think putting a character through the ringer is problematic. So they've done that with Rey. They don't want to show the training because it's more empowering if they didn't. And I think that's the wrong way. It would show. I think it would be more empowering to show that no matter what came at her, she was able to struggle through it and win anyway. And because
it's like the old cliche from adventure serials, how you'll get how will our hero escape from this tragic situation?
Exactly.
Next time on insert name here.
And that's by the way, watch A New Hope, and you will see that it is a series of serials, that they do have a problem every 10 minutes or so, where it's like, oh, well, how are the heroes going to escape from this? Check it out. I am not lying about that. It's as if, and then of course he goes on with Steven Spielberg and makes Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is exactly the same way. But if you watch, you can watch A New Hope, and I hate using that term. I'm old enough that it's only Star Wars, kids. But yeah, if you watch it, you could actually segment it as a serial movie. Christy saying, yeah, that was it. I didn't like about TLJ. It was the writing, and that's where it comes down. Look, Kelly Tran did fine as Rose Tico. Everybody did exactly what they could with the material they had. It was just that. But getting back to the thing, and we're going to wrap it up here a little bit. Mandalorian, like I said, there you are, Star Wars. Thank you for coming back to us. It's so nice. And the second episode of Mandalorian is just as fun as the first. Yeah, that cereal. I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Wrong kind of cereal, but thank you. So there you go. You guys have anything else you want to add about this?
You talked about serials in the 70s when George Lucas was writing Star Wars. He intended it to be a serial, and serials were not being made in the 70s.
Yeah.
But they were fairly common in the 30s and the 40s. And he was trying to go back to something like that. And that was his inspiration for Star Wars. It was intended to be an ongoing series.
That's that was something that he wanted to do, and that's what he sold Steven Spielberg on. 'Cause Steven Spielberg was fishing around for a James Bond movie. Yeah. We could have gotten For Your Eyes Only, directed by Steven Spielberg, but George Lucas said, "Hey, I've got something better." And he brought up, he said he wanted to do a movie, of course, like the old serials, and it was Indiana Jones. So, I think it's
Indiana
awesome.
Jones was, very much like that.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That was really the.
If I'm going to call popular. Star Wars, I should call Raiders of the Lost Ark Raiders of the Lost Ark. But there you go. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, I think that was the concept that really made those films popular. Because it was kind of, at that time, the younger people, they didn't know about those kind of films. Even though it's something that had happened earlier in history, it had happened far enough back that nobody remembered those. Just the really old people.
And the people who actually bought them. For a while, I had the Captain Marvel and the Rocket Man. I love those old things.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance to watch Batman, don't.
Oh, the old Batman films. I've seen a few of them.
Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah.
The 1940 serial. Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
the old serials are hilarious, but sometimes they go a little bit overboard.
Anyway, to sum up, Mandalorian awesome, 1940s Batman serialized picture show not. So check that out. Ban Eric Breen, he's being a troll. He upsets me. Maybe next time. Anyway, how you doing, Jay Fairclough? We're about to shut this one down. I'm going to start up another one so we can talk about the world according to Jeff Goldblum. And you're all welcome to join in on that one if you want to talk about it. I'm sure I'm the only one that saw any episode, if much less both of them. But there you go. So anyway, once again, guys, thank you very much for joining the conversation. Tito, thank you very much for joining me and Dalton as well.
Thank you for having me.
And as always, thank you very, very much for watching, and see you real soon.